New study finds atheists are more likely to believe that aliens exist. A report titled Preliminary Assessment Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, or UAP, by the Office of the Director of National Defense in the United States, released on June 25th, caused a flurry of debate regarding the existence of aliens. A study by the Pew Research Center, which was sparked in part by the ODND's report, found out that religious adults are more likely to doubt the existence of alien life versus those who are less religious. 77% of those of both the atheist and agnostic participants say that their best guess is that life exists on other planets. Tom Flynn, the editor of the humanist magazine Free Inquiry, posited that religious people are less likely to believe in alien life because it undermines the core of their beliefs.
I mean, this makes complete sense. Like, if I had to guess, this is what I would guess. If you have two groups of people and one of them considering a new, like a hypothesis, and if they had to, if that hypothesis would challenge everything they believe, group A would challenge, their beliefs if they accepted, if they had to come up with the likelihood of a hypothesis, like if they had to accept it, and group B, it wouldn't challenge all their already accepted beliefs. It would be more likely that group B would, on average, would attribute a higher possibility to the hypothesis, given that it doesn't challenge certain views that they already hold. Like, honestly, this is like by the way, when I say this is what we would expect, this is not a dismissal of studies, right? This is just so happens that the results are what you would expect, right? You still need studies because a lot of times the results are the opposite of what you expect. Just because you expect a certain result, that doesn't mean that you should not do studies, okay? Because there are many times that you expect something and then the study results come out like, oh my God, this went exactly the opposite of what is, just so happens here that it went in the direction that we would have expected, I think, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it was really interesting.
I just want to clarify that I'm not being anti-intellectual by saying this is what we expected, because we still need to do studies. But yeah, go on.
It was really interesting. So they gathered this information in a variety of ways, and a variety of ways of determining someone's kind of religiosity. And all of kind of the standard markers of religiosity was an indicator that someone was not likely to believe in the possibilities of intelligent life on another planet. For example, where was it? Shoot. Sorry.
Well, while you're looking for that, I just want to say that what do they mean by alien? Just like life somewhere else? Is that
intelligent life, intelligent extraterrestrial life?
Okay, that's very specific. Because if they were just saying life, that would be like, duh. Like, obviously, like the universe is so big, but also intelligent life. I mean, the universe is so big. It's like it wouldn't be. Again, it wouldn't be like this is. The problem is that just when they say alien, they put pictures like what? Like, look at the cover that our editors pick, right? When you pick pictures like this, then it might seem ridiculous to be like believe in that specific type of alien, right? But does intelligent life exist somewhere in this goddamn universe? It wouldn't be. It's not an extraordinary claim, right? Like, if you have the right conditions, you're gonna have life. If you have life, give it enough time, you're probably going to get some intelligence. I don't know. I don't actually know probably because I can't. Like most people are incapable of actually doing the math when it comes to the probability of these things. Like, I know a lot of people smarter than us are doing the math, but most people who come up with conclusions like this, they themselves can't do the math and haven't even looked up the work of the people who have done the math. So they have no business attributing probability to the likelihood of this, right? You could just maybe refer to, I mean, if you have looked at other people who are experts who have tried to do the math, then you could maybe appeal to the experts. But given if you haven't, then even if you come up with a guess, you have to admit to yourself that this is nothing but a guess, right? You have no idea how probable this is, right? But again, it doesn't seem like an extraordinary, like some people think like this is really out, like if anybody believes this is true, this is not like an out there, like a superstitious belief. If intelligent life happened on this planet, it means that this is something within the realm of possibility for it to happen on a planet somewhere in the universe. And unless there's something magical or supernatural about our planet, then could possibly happen on another planet somewhere in the universe. This is not an extraordinary claim. So I don't think like religious people just saying outright like, oh, I don't believe this is true because it challenges their belief. Nobody has any business saying that this is not possible, right? It's definitely possible, but how possible, that is a very complicated question, and most people have no idea. Yeah.
So I found what I was looking for. This is evidence, meaning like they're findings that Americans who are religious are less likely to say that there is intelligent life beyond Earth, is evidenced by a variety of measures of religious engagement. For example, any U.S. adults who attend religious services on at least a weekly basis are considerably less likely than those who seldom or never attend services to say that intelligent life exists elsewhere, meaning 44% of frequent attenders or weekly attenders versus 75% of seldom attenders. Similarly, around half of Americans who say religion is very important to them, which is 49% of their sample, say their best guess is that intelligent life exists on other planets, so a minority. By comparison, roughly 3/4 of those who say a religion is less important in their lives, which is 76%, say that intelligent life does exist elsewhere or might exist elsewhere. Adults who pray daily are also less likely than those who seldom or never pray to say intelligent life exists on other planets, which is 54% versus 80%. White evangelical Protestants, who tend to be highly religious, are less likely than any other religious groups to say intelligent life probably exists on other planets. 40% hold this view, so minority of white evangelical Protestants. Most white non-evangelical Protestants, which is 65%, Catholics, 67%, and religiously unaffiliated adults, 80%, say their best guess is that there is intelligent life beyond Earth. And they also noted that due to the limitations of their sample size, they weren't able to gain meaningful or significant findings for Jewish or Muslim Americans. But I thought this was a really interesting breakdown.
Interesting. What do you think, by the way? Your views on this?
I mean, it kind of makes sense, like for all the reasons that other people have posited. I don't know if anyone has studied specifically in a more strenuous and systematic way what could explain these findings. But
no, I meant your views on whether intelligent life exists somewhere.
Well, to quote Ghost Bunny in the live chat, I think it's more probable. I think she says, I believe the possibility of alien life is more than I do of God. So I think
that's an understatement, but yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so here's another thing I think, okay? I think it's very possible. Again, I'm not going to use the word probable because it's hard to calculate these. Possible is an easier thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's possible for us to find like some sort of life at some point, somewhere. But even if there is intelligent life somewhere in the universe, I think it's very, again, I could be very, very wrong. I'm just guessing, right? So if anybody wants to disagree with me, you're possibly right and I'm wrong, right? But I think if there is intelligent life somewhere in this universe, we're never going to contact them. Okay. I think it's very possible that we're going to find life, like some really basic form of life on some planet somewhere. But I mean, the nearest star to us is like, how far is the nearest star? How many? 4 light years away?
You mean besides our sun?
Yeah, the nearest star, other than ours. The nearest star to us is 8 minutes. 8 minutes. 8 minute
Light
light
minutes or whatever.
8 light minutes away. Okay, after our sun, the next one is 4 light years away. Right. So 4 light years away.
Yeah.
That means that if there is intelligence, so if there is life that we could contact, it's either in our solar system, it's either in this close to this star that we have, or which we would have probably found by now if there is if it was intelligent. So it's not. So if we're going to find life anywhere around in our neighborhood, it's going to be not intelligent. If there is intelligent life anywhere else, that means that it's the next closest one is 4 light years away. And 4 light years away is far enough for us never to be able to reach each other unless we have godlike powers. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, you can't travel in, I don't know. Like, it has to be, I don't think we're ever gonna, like, it either has to be in the closest, solar system next to us, which is 4 light years away. And if it's not in that one, then it's definitely so far. No, well, I shouldn't say definitely. Then it's so far away that unless the intelligent life has some godlike powers that I don't know how they managed to achieve, like somehow they broke every law of physics and math or anything, then we're going to be forever separate and we're never going to ever reach each other, right? So that's, I don't know, unless, no, I don't know, maybe even if we find each other because we somehow send messages into the void, even if we find each other through messages, we're never going to meet each other, right? Like, it would be impossible for us to meet each other, even if we manage to send messages to each other.
Yeah, but that's like a message in a bottle, just like, here's hoping.
Like, hey, we noticed you. And then we send a message back, oh, we noticed you noticing us, but we'll never meet each other unless we become godlike or something, right? So, and if that happens, we'll probably, and also if they ever manage to reach us, they're probably going to be here to annihilate us, I think, because what other motivation would they have to come meet us? Like, if you're that advanced to be able to travel distances that are light years apart, then you probably have figured everything out. Like, you have no need for food or energy. Like, you could, like, if that's your capabilities, that you could travel like light years, then why would you come here? There's nothing you could learn from us. We don't have anything to give you. You have, like, you could turn matter into energy anytime you want. Like, you're traveling light years. There's nothing here for you. There's no curiosity that you're trying to satisfy because you are so godlike that itch has already been scratched to forever, to point of full satisfaction. So the only reason, if you're that godlike, the only reason why you would have, the only motivation that you have to come here is because you want to prevent anything else in this universe close in your neighborhood to become godlike, so that it might not be, like, it's just game theory, right? In that situation, you will come here to just make sure that we're fully wiped out so we'd never become a challenge to you. But go on.
When we were talking, I was doing a little Googling out of curiosity about life in our solar system, and I found this article published by The Guardian a week ago titled, "Mini Neptunes Beyond Solar System May Soon Yield Signs of Life." And basically it talks about how researchers have expanded the kinds of planets that they're looking for, or that they're rethinking what might be habitable. And it says they have now identified a new class of habitable exoplanets called Hycean planets, hot, ocean-covered, and with hydrogen-rich atmospheres, which are more numerous and observable than Earth-like planets. The mini Neptune, known as K2-18b, is one, and there could be many more in the existence. And then it says, quote, "We are saying that within 2 or 3 years, we may see the first biosignature detection if these planets host life," according to James Webb. And that they are launching, the James Webb Space Telescope is due to launch in November and could aid this search. So maybe we will have, some more exciting developments in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and also just we're talking about unintelligent life there, obviously.
Well, and this is just for a detection if it could sustain life, if it could even be habitable. But habitable doesn't mean that it actually did bring forth a life form.
Yes, interesting.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.